Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Boxiest, and today we are going to continue the What If series. What if events had gone differently? And in this What If, we're going to change the history of Cobra Kai. What if Tory and Sam switched places during the events of Cobra Kai? So in this timeline, the events of Cobra Kai would be very different. Daniel would actually be divorced from Amanda, so the relationship between Sam and Daniel wouldn't be good. Daniel would still follow Mr. Miyagi's teachings after all these years. Sam would live with Amanda, while Anthony lived with Daniel. Sam would take her mother's last name. The events of Cobra Kai would still happen. Johnny would still save Miguel, and he would get the idea to reopen up Cobra Kai. So Johnny would still train Miguel. The events would stay the same. Kyler would spread rumors about Sam, and Miguel and Kyler would still fight in the cafeteria. Sam would still be impressed by Miguel's skill and wanting to get back at Daniel. She would decide to join Cobra Kai in this timeline, the same way Robbie joined Daniel to get back at Johnny, and Robbie would also have the same idea, so he would join Daniel. So Johnny would start training Sam, while Daniel trained Robbie. Both Johnny and Daniel wouldn't know that they were training each other's kids. Sam and Miguel would still date, and they would be trained by Johnny, and season 1 would carry on, and Johnny and Daniel would eventually find out the truth, and they would feel betrayed by their students. So both Sam and Robbie would enter the tournament unaffiliated. The night of the tournament, Johnny and Daniel would both be impressed by their students, and they would retake them as their students. So Sam would compete under Cobra Kai, while Robbie competed under Miyagi-Do. They both wouldn't like that their children were being trained by their worst enemy. Sam and Robbie would fight in the tournament, but Robbie would defeat Sam, and both Johnny and Daniel would be conflicted by the results. Johnny would be sad that his student lost, but he would be happy for Robbie's victory, while Daniel was sad that his daughter lost, but he would be happy by his student's victory. And Robbie and Miguel would still fight in the finals, and Miguel would beat Robbie. Kreese would still come back in this timeline, and Kreese would rejoin Cobra Kai as a sensei. Season 2 would carry on. Tory would still move to the Valley, and she would still be at Valley Fest. She would see Miyagi-Do doing their demo, and she would be impressed. So Tory would want to join Miyagi-Do. Tory would start dating Robbie. Sam would be at the country club with Aisha, and Daniel would invite his students to the country club to go with him. Sam and Tory would still have their first interactions there, and Sam would still accuse Tory of stealing her mom's wallet, and the same things would happen. So Sam and Tory's rivalry would still happen. Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do would have a rivalry. Daniel would help Tory control her anger and use Miyagi-Do teachings, while Johnny would teach Sam not to take anything from anyone. The events of season 2 would still carry on. The night of Moon's party, the students would be drinking, and Sam and Robbie would start to bond over the fact that they were both being trained by each other's parents, and Robbie and Sam would kiss. Tory would still watch from afar, so Tory would still start the school fight in this timeline. Tory and Sam would fight, while Miguel fought Robbie, and Miguel would be even more angry than he was in the original timeline, and it would actually be Miguel that would kick Robbie off the balcony. Miguel would be arrested, and Tory would be expelled. Johnny would be heartbroken, and Kreese would retake Cobra Kai as his own and kick Johnny out. Daniel would visit Robbie in the hospital. Johnny would try visiting. Robbie would be mad at Johnny, but eventually Robbie and Johnny would reconnect, and Robbie would forgive Johnny. So Johnny would help Robbie recover the ability to use his legs with the help of Daniel. Kreese would continue training his students in the ways of Cobra Kai, and he would try to focus his time on Sam because he would know that he was Daniel's daughter, and this would be his way at getting back at Daniel. Kreese would start manipulating Miguel in juvie. Kreese would tell Miguel that Johnny had picked Robbie over him, so by the time Miguel gets out of juvie, he would go with Kreese and rejoin Cobra Kai. Johnny would form Eagle Fang, but he wouldn't have as many students. Daniel would try to convince Tory to come back to Miyagi-Do, but Tory wouldn't want anything to do with karate. But much like Kreese did in the original timeline, Daniel would help Tory, and she would come back to Miyagi-Do. Robbie would also come back to Miyagi-Do in this timeline. Sam would organize the house fight at Daniel's house, so the Cobra Kais would attack the Miyagi-Dos and Eagle Fangs. Season 3 would still end the same way, with Johnny and Daniel confronting Kreese, and he would still propose the tournament. So Johnny and Daniel would decide to team up to take down Cobra Kai, and Season 4 would go the same way, only with Miguel and Sam and Tory and Robbie on the opposite dojo. Daniel and Johnny would help train Robbie and Tory. Terry Silver would still come back and rejoin Cobra Kai as a sensei, and since Anthony is in Miyagi-Do in this timeline, he wouldn't bully Kenny, so Kenny wouldn't join Cobra Kai at all. Season 4 would continue. Daniel would be heartbroken seeing Sam being trained by Terry and Kreese, and the events of Season 4 would carry on. Daniel would continue to help Tory deal with their anger, and she would eventually find peace. The night of the tournament, Miguel would beat Robbie in the boys' finals, but Tory would beat Sam in the girls' finals. Cobra Kai would still win overall, and Miyagi-Do and Eagle Fang would be forced to shut down. Terry would still betray Kreese in this timeline, and Daniel would still go get chosen to help him take down Cobra Kai. And that is where I'm going to end this what if. Thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think would have happened if Tory and Sam switched places during the events of Cobra Kai? Let me know in the comments below. All members have access to emojis that can be used in comments and live streams. This isn't mandatory. This is only something extra. If you want to support the channel even more, YouTube lets me know that the majority of you are not subscribed, so if you guys could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications, and I'll see you guys next time.